Hey everyone, Alex LaRosa here with Bluebell Wealth Management. Today we're going to have a short video covering the basics of employee stock options, and it's going to be the first video in a three-part series that covers employee stock options, the strategies around them, and the risk associated with them. So again, today we're just going to talk about the basic two types of stock options there are and how they are taxed, right? So let's back up a little bit. What are employee stock options? Employee stock options are used by employers to attract and retain talent, right? And they're part of overall compensation packages. What they do is they give the employee the right to purchase shares at a specified date at a specified price, right? So a few terms that we're going to be using today is the exercise price or grant price, right? Which is the actual value you're able to buy the shares at. We're going to talk about the vesting date, right? When you're actually able to exercise them. We're also going to throw around the term expiration date. Stock options do have expiration dates and they will become worthless if not exercised by that date. So it's important to know that. So let's start with the first type of stock option, which is the non-qualified or NSO stock option, right? And the reason it's called non-qualified is there's two taxable events, right? So first is when you exercise the option, you're usually taxed at ordinary income. And then when you sell the option, you're then afforded capital gains tax rates. So long term if held for more than a year, short term if held for less than a year. So I'm going to put an example here on the screen for an NSO. So let's say you're giving a non-qualified stock option with the exercise price of $10, right? So you have the ability when you are vested to buy shares for $10. When you decide to exercise, when you're vested, the market price is $30, right? So you will owe income tax on the difference between the market price and the exercise price. In this case, $20. Then after you exercise, you decide in this case to hold them for more than a year and then you sell them. When you go to sell them, the market price is now $50. Your cost basis is that $30. So you will owe long-term capital gains tax rate on the $20 difference, 50 minus 30, right? That is the NSO. The next type of option is a more rare example, and it's usually reserved for key employees and executives, known as the incentive stock option or ISO. The ISO is much more tax advantageous because there is no taxable event at the time of exercise. When you sell the shares, however, you will be taxed at capital gains tax rates, right? So I'll put in another example here, an ISO example. Same thing. Exercise price of $10. When you're vested and able to exercise, the market price is $30. In this case, you do not owe income tax on that difference of $20. Now, you hold the shares for more than a year. You decide to sell. At the time of sale, the market price is $50. You will owe the long-term capital gains tax rate on the $20 difference, or 50 minus 30. Now, with ISOs, it's important to remember that you want to avoid what's called a disqualifying disposition, right? So you want to be able to hold these shares. You can't sell the shares 2 years after grant and 1 year after exercise, right? So 2 years after they're granted and 1 year after you exercise, then you qualify for that special tax treatment. It's important to also when you have dealing with ISOs, work with your tax preparer because the exercise does have an impact on alternative minimum tax or AMT. So it's important to bring those up with them. That's all I have today. Again, these are the two basic types of examples. The next video, we're going to go more into the actual exercising strategies and some of the risks that are actually associated with employee stock options.